Praise the Lord. God bless you, viewers. Please, I want to show some video and see how the enemy manipulates the children. How enemy manipulate one of our sisters. How devil frustrating. How devil use lesson. You can watch the video. You are blessed in Jesus' name. So after watching the video, join me to pray, share and put like. God bless you.
Once upon a time,
so it's good to pray to wage war against enemy.
Then the villain man
Because
came
the
over
enemy,
and
they are
wanted
looking
to
for
rape
who
her,
to
but she
devour.
refused. Only
They are
that she
looking
has
for
been
who
regretting
to
it ever
destroy.
since.
Enemy will not destroy us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Kwa nini sikukubali huo dereva ama hao wenye walikuwa hapo kwa roli
Although
wafanye
the video is
kwa
long,
sababu
so long.
ningekubali saa hii singekuwa napitia hizi changamoto.
What made this girl half blessed, and why doesn't she like truck driving? In this extraordinary story, we are talking to Irene Bite Wambua, an exceptionally resilient girl who has seen quite a lot
Don't know
at
if
just
people can
24
see.
years old. But whose house,
Although,
as you can see here, doesn't prove it.
Kwa majina naitwa Irene Bidesami kutoka Machakos.
She is the firstborn of her 5 other siblings, and she is a hardworking girl who was determined to help her single mother raise her young sisters and brothers. It was in the early hours of one morning when a close friend of Iran slipped into her blanket with exciting news, whispering in her right ear that she had found her librarian job in Nairobi City, and the 2 friends had very little time to pack their bags before leaving.
so prayer is the key.
It was a modest
Just
job
watch
for
this
Iran,
video
who had
and
wished
see
to grab a
that
high-paying
prayer
job
is
to
powerful.
accommodate all her many needs.
God
But the
bless
offer
you.
was quite enough to risk it all, since she had been unemployed for quite a while, and to make matters worse, her mother had been unemployed as well, which meant that putting food on the table for his huge family was a very big problem. The 2 girls from Machakos town took a 63-kilometer journey heading to northwest to Nairobi City. But upon reaching their final destination, suddenly there was no job for Iran.
Tukaenda Nairobi.
When we reached Nairobi, my job position was already filled with another new employee who was doing what I was supposed to be doing. As Irene was getting worried, an abrupt offer showed up as a residential home nearby accepted to give her housemaid job, which she quickly accepted. But the owner of the house demanded that Irene show her ID card, of which she had not traveled with, perhaps because of that rush preparation which prompted her to forget it.
Sasa hapo mimi sikuwa na ID.
I didn't come with my ID card, and I dealt with my boss to allow me to return back home and bring it, and they agreed to my offer so quickly. But getting back to Machakos from Nairobi wasn't an easy task. Irene had thought to have some money left in her pocket, but there was none. She walked by foot while pleading with the truck drivers to give her a lift, but her plea was ignored. The tiring journey under the scorching sun of Nairobi was too much for Irene, and she decided to take some time to rest before resuming her long journey. That's how she met a young man who helped her to find a truck which would give her a lift to her home time. But the lift was not so innocent, as the 2 men in the truck had other plans.
Hao wanaume walikuwa wawili kwa gari.
There were 2 men in the truck. One man left us, and the remaining one started to ask me if I was married. He told me he wanted to take me to Mombasa, but I refused and asked him to leave me there. Instead of going some 63 kilometers towards Machakos, the truck driver took some 485 kilometers to Mombasa, in which Irene was asleep after drinking to the water she was given by the truck driver.
Mi nililala, kesho yake ndio nikajipata Mombasa.
As the driver was still figuring out how to take Irene out, she finally woke up and screamed. The driver got afraid and left her to avoid more troubles. Then Irene had someone who speaks her local language known as Kikamba, and she joined him to ask for help. He was a young man. I approached him and explained what happened to me, and he promised to help me. We left the public area and approached an old woman to explain my issue. She asked me a lot of questions, wondering why I didn't ask for the ticket from my mom. As the frightened and tired Irene was struggling to explain herself, an old man with an old truck showed up and claimed to be going exactly to Machakos, a town Irene was heading to. She climbed the truck in belief that her misery was finally coming to an end. But it was just the beginning, as the men inside an old truck started to seduce this girl, who sat timidly between them. But she backed them off, only to raise their anger as they stopped talking to her throughout the journey. By then, it was around 11 p.m. Under the thick darkness of the night, with no lights on the roadside whatsoever, the two men behind the wheels went out of the truck and argued with another man for an hour. And when they came back, their mood was aggressive.